Welcome to Freed on Business. He grew up in South Florida, has been in business here since the early 90s, and has closed over $3 billion in deals. He's seen it all. He always has an opinion, and he's always ready to share it. Informed, entertaining, and connected, he has his finger on the pulse of South Florida's business community. He's Jim Freed, and this is Freed on Business.
Hey everybody, we got a great show for you. Every time I got Larry Zinn on the show, it's always awesome. I want to thank Larry for all of his years of sponsorship. I'll do that again in a little while. But Larry is a really special person because he's about to become a dad again. So congratulations, Larry and Courtney. And I guess I could throw Warren in there too, huh?
Sure, yeah. Grandpa Wawa.
Oh, yeah, Grandpa. Well, I don't think he enjoyed that part. But so Larry and I, we're going to sell some cars for Larry. Then we're going to get back on. Larry's going to tell us all kinds of insights. Last time we were on, we debated electric cars and hydrogen cars, all kinds of really cool stuff. Since then, they've announced the flying cars. We'll talk about that too. All kinds of transportation with Larry Zinn right after this. Reagan, take it away. Everybody, I want to remind everybody we're South Florida's longest running business talk show. We've been on since 2008, and our sponsor since 2012 has been Larry Zinn. I want to thank Larry, Warren, Samantha, Abe, the whole team over, Eric, can't forget Eric, the whole team at Warren Henry. I want to thank them so much. We can't thank them enough for helping us be part of the Warren Henry family. Larry, thank you so much. It's great to be part of such a beautiful family. And I want to thank you particularly for helping my mom get her new car and for helping Vivian rotate into the next gen on her car too. We really love you guys. And high five to May Stark. She keeps it all rolling for us.
Thank you.
It's our pleasure. Now, everybody, I got to read this, so let me put on my glasses. When you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry. Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar up in Gainesville. Gainesville's that way. Gainesville, they sell Audis. Down in the Keys, that's that way. They sell everything. I may go down to the Keys and get myself a Jeep after the storm. Anyway, what do they all have in common? Well, they all are great cars. They all come with the Warren Henry Advantage. I need a list. There's so many great things with the Warren Henry Advantage. Complimentary service loaner, dynamic wheel protection. That's when you scrape your wheels against a curb. No one ever does that. Key replacement, I use that. It costs like $100 for those keys. Guaranteed purchase offer, best value guarantee. My favorite, the 72-hour exchange. You can take 3 full days to decide whether or not you like your car. Guess what? You will. So join me, my mom, and my beautiful wife, Vivian. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. Lots of my friends, too. You should be, too. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry. Love that PSA because we're all in charge of our own immediate universe. And the thing says to choose kindness. And I do that every day. We'll talk about that later on in the show. I'm Jim Freed. Usually I tell you how to contact me, but I can't do that anymore because somebody hacked it. And well, that's another show entirely. But reach out to me, DM me. I get calls and folks every day. I got one client out of New Zealand. I've got another young man that I mentored, didn't see him for 10 years, and he calls me. He wants me to help him put some permanent financing on his industrial properties. That's a unicorn. Industrial properties in South Florida. So I'm really excited to continue to build my brand around the positive energy. So call me or reach out to me if I can help you. I help families with their real estate issues all the time. One of my good friends, I'm helping him raise literally 100% of the capital stack. Well, okay, 98.5% of the capital stack to build almost 1,000 apartments in Miami-Dade County. We're also going to do that same kind of project up in Broward. So call me. Got another one of those in Palm Beach. That's another young man that I've mentored for a while. So call me, reach out to me, DM me. The whole thing is when you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
All right, we're on with my favorite car wash guy, Larry Zinn. I actually met Larry when he graduated from the car washing. He was the F&I guy when I met him. I asked him if he wanted to get into the community, involved in the community. Then he chuckled, said, "I don't think you know who I am." I said, "Oh, you're Larry Zinn. I get it." So, hey, Larry, you've come a long way since being the F&I guy.
It's certainly changed a little bit, but still happy to have you as part of the family and glad we were able to connect back then.
Oh, listen, you're just such a tremendous dude. And I want to thank you for connecting with me back then because you helped me really come through a really difficult time. You helped me determine that, yeah, I was a guy that should be in the Warren Henry family. And you helped me be in the Warren Henry family. Now you help me stay in the Warren Henry family. And it's tremendous. And I keep saying that, and it's not something we use lightly. My mom goes there. Specifically, her single point of contact is Maytel Stark, who is a tremendous service advisor and just makes my whole family feel like tremendous. And my mom's 83. She's scared of all this stuff. She still can't figure out what happens when you push that button. I said, just don't push the button, Mom. Then there's Vivian. You advised Vivian to extend her lease so she could take advantage of certain things that are happening in the auto market. I want to thank you for that. And me, we'll just wait for 18 months till I'm ready for my next one. So, Larry, let's talk about it. It's 18 months from now. What's going to be happening in the auto industry? Because it's rapidly changing. You read about this chip shortage. I've got to figure that they're working on getting that ironed out and making sure it doesn't happen again. So it's now 18 months from now. What's going on? More e-cars, more autonomous cars? What are we looking at?
Truthfully, I think 18 months from now will, hopefully just be 6 months out of the chip shortage. I do see the chip shortage going on for a good while longer. You are going to see more electrification all throughout the ranges of every major manufacturer, and also some new entrants to the market that are strictly focused on electric vehicles, like a Lucid Motors, for example. Provided all these companies actually make it to market, it's always interesting to see, as you watch the stock market every day, which of these companies that have big promises on what they're going to bring run out of cash before they ever produce their first car. So I do think the market will continue to evolve. Sorry. I do think that the market
needs to get in touch with you.
I do think that the market's going to continue to evolve as time goes along, and we'll see more and more market share of electrification as time goes along. I know you and I talked about hydrogen at length previously, and I still believe that in the long term, it is a real solution, and electrification may possibly be a step on the way, or they all have their own place within the market. I certainly think it makes all the sense in the world, but electrification is what's hot right now. And it's the topic that all the major manufacturers are focused on, some completely and some partially.
Electrification is really an interesting concept for me. My mom had a Prius, and now electric cars are the fastest cars on the street. What's happened? I forget the guy's name. I love him. The guy in Jaguar who taught me the word torque. Why should I care about torque in electric vehicles?
Basically because the electric motors have the ability to deliver torque faster than any other type of propulsion. So as that torque is delivered, the vehicles basically go off the line faster than anything else, provided that they have the availability of the traction. So that's why you're able to see these electric cars go 0 to 60 in ridiculous times. Under 3 seconds. It's really cool. It's a totally different sensation than what you'd experience in an internal combustion vehicle. But it's absolutely amazing.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I want to get one of those e-cars out on the Autobahn or perhaps the racetrack. What really surprised me was you once told me that the Jaguar SUV is one of the fastest cars out there. Is that still true?
Time has passed along. The Jaguar I-Pace is no longer, as fast as what else is out there. It's changing so rapidly. Tesla's got some great entrants to the market that are extremely fast in regards to electric vehicles. So as more manufacturers come to market, it's, almost like an arms race to 0 to 60, who's going to get there the fastest.
Well, I'm going to play Floyd, our friend, and I'm going to say, what about the supercars? Are there any electric supercars? We had the Fisker early on, but what's going to happen now in the supercar end with electrification?
Well, you're going to see more hybridization as on its way into total electrification. Some of the major manufacturers will have a fully electric vehicle. There's a hypercar company called Rimac, which just merged with Bugatti.
That was my question. Was Bugatti, Mr. Bugatti dealer?
So Rimac makes a vehicle that goes 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds. It
How does
also
the body physically handle that?
Carefully. Yes, is the correct response. But the difference that you see with those vehicles is it's not just the short range performance. It's the going all the way up to 200 or over 200 miles per hour speeds that, of course, we could never reach on the road, but on a track it would have exceptional performance. So that's something interesting that's happening in the market. But everybody is going to move towards electrification, partially because of government. You have your CAFE regulations. You have government saying that they're no longer going to allow internal combustion vehicles to be sold in their countries or in specific major cities after 2035. You won't be able to have vehicles parked there, which to me poses another question. I think you might know more about than I do, is infrastructure and the grid, right? So if you have a place like California right now, which consistently has rolling blackouts during the summer, when everybody's plugging in their car, how is the infrastructure going to handle that? It's not that I'm anti-electric, because I think this is certainly the way of the future. I just think that there's a lot of unanswered questions, and perhaps we're putting the cart before the horse by pushing everybody into electric vehicles without being able to charge them efficiently. I mean, you have
Well, I agree with you completely. You drive up on the highway, you see 3 of these charging stations at the turnpike thing. Am I going to sit there for 4 hours to go charge my car up?
And what happens, during a major storm like we're seeing right now, where people are potentially going to leave the state
at the same time?
At the same time, and you can't refill. You have to stop and recharge. Those are major questions that I think aren't answered, or at least thought all the way through.
I think that this is really a political issue more than it's really an infrastructure issue. I think it's a technology issue. I think it's a idea in currency and an adaptation issue. My real question is, if they're going to plumb everything for infrastructure with electric around the country, why can't they plumb it for hydrogen also, which is, I believe, more stable, cheaper, and better for the economy? And while it's not being promoted by a lot of the major manufacturers, I think that's a mistake. I've talked to a number of people that are in the commercial hydrogen business. I know that they're making trucks. I know that it's being tested out at LAX right now, and I think that there are really, here's a high five to Toyota. They're the ones that are doing it. So, really the question is can you get a big automaker behind it? Can you get the money behind it? Can you get the infrastructure behind it? Because the time to do it is now, when they're talking about replumbing our entire transportation system. And we haven't even talked about the impact of auto cars and how many cars they'll take off the road and how that'll reduce the required capacity in the different transportation corridors. Not that I have an opinion on any of this.
Well, they're the major manufacturers. A lot of them either have the hydrogen technology or are continuing to follow it as an alternative to electrification. Seeing that with Jaguar Land Rover, seeing that with Hyundai, BMW has long had hydrogen technology. There are people who are pursuing it. It's just not fashionable right now to talk about it. The big sexy right now is electrification and all the electric cars that are coming to market. It may be a stepping stool along the way. At some point, the overall car market could have a share of hydrogen, electric, and internal combustion of some sort. I mean, I've even read about manufacturers such as Porsche and Koenigsegg testing or trying to create alternative fuels that would be environmentally friendly to run in internal combustion engines.
Well,
synthetic fuels that would not be fossil fuel based.
Okay, well, there's the biofuels, but they still produce carbon emissions. The real issue is carbon emissions. Electric still produces carbon emissions. They just do it in the tailpipe. Really, that's why I like hydrogen. Why don't we take a quick break? Reagan will help me sell some cars, and then we'll be right back with more Larry Zinn. And in the next half, I want to talk about what Larry and his team do in the community, because if you think the car thing is interesting, wait till we talk to Larry about how he and his family help the kids in our community and help make South Florida and the entire country a better place. Larry, that's a heads up. We'll be back after this. This is Freed on Business. We're South Florida's longest running business talk show, on since 2008. Thousands of guests. Larry's my favorite, can you tell? And I want to thank Larry and his team for being sponsors since 2012. I guess we're somewhat effective in getting his message out as well. And thank you for allowing us to affiliate with you, Larry. We appreciate it very much. When you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry, Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar up at their new store at 151st and Biscayne. They've got a tremendous Audi store. I've been there up in Gainesville. Wow, it's so beautiful. And those Audi cars are smoking hot. Down in the Keys, they sell all their nameplates. I'm thinking about going down there and getting a Jeep. I watch those big Jeeps. Oh, man, they're so hot. And what do they all have in common? Well, they're all great cars. And they all come with the Warren Henry Advantage, which the Warren Henry Advantage is a whole bunch of great things that you get when you buy your Warren Henry car. You get complimentary service loaner, dynamic wheel protection, key replacement, guarantee purchase offer, best value guarantee. My favorite, because nobody ever uses it, the 72-hour exchange. You get in your car from Warren Henry, you're going to like it, man. You will. Nobody turns them back. So join me, my mom, my beautiful wife, Vivian, all kinds of my friends. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Special shout out to Maytel Stark, my personal service rep. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry.
Carlson from Carlson Integrated. A lot of our clients find that they can do anything, but not really everything. We are always excited to jump in and help. So whether you need another set of hands for a project or even comprehensive marketing management, our team of marketing mavens would love to have a conversation with you to see if we are the right fit. We do everything from logo and design work to email outreach and social media to writing and thought leadership. And here's a fun one. We are now offering our fabulous ebook of top 10 marketing tips on our website for free. So head over to carlsonintegrated.com and grab a copy today. And please always let us know how we can help. My email is Becca, that's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com. That's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com.
And I'm Jim Freed, and Rebecca Carlson always makes me look good, and she helps my friends too. Hey, remember everybody, reach out to me if I can help you with a real estate transaction. Got a call the other day from a friend of mine that used to be a developer at one of the big firms, went on their own, spent the pandemic up in North Carolina and came back with 2 deals. Guess what? They're smoking, and I'm going to hopefully do them with her. I've got another friend of mine that's building almost 1,000 units in Dade County. We're helping that person get financed all the way up to the capital stack. Residential loans, I'm helping some friends get their homes financed. All kinds of tricky things I'm doing with them to help them get financed with my good friend Ed Cairo. But give me a call. An institutional permanent financing just got the request for a life company deal for a big office building. So if you need help with capital markets, I got it. Call me or DM me, Jim Freed. Why? Because when you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
All right, we're back with Larry Zinn. Larry is the head honcho over at Warren Henry, one of the smartest auto guys I know, sits on top of an empire that just keeps growing. We won't talk about all that. We'll just give high five where required to Eric Day for the part he does in running everything over there. I want to give another high five to my good friend Abe Cohn. Abe, you better find me the car I want. And Samantha, thank you so much, Samantha, for always being there when we need you. Larry, welcome back to the show. I want to talk to the things that you do with Samantha and your team in the community. Specifically, I know you give the big award every year where the kids come in, they meet with Warren. Tell me a little bit about that.
So we do, I guess, a local Heisman Trophy for high school football. What I really like about that is beyond, getting a chance to sit and meet these high school kids, they usually sit with my father for a while after. And he gets to give them some life lessons and talk about, what to expect going forward. And I think it's something that everybody appreciates. Actually, right now we're doing something which we do every year with the Overtown Youth Center. Currently, we are a collection center for school supplies. So as the summer goes along, any of our locations will be collecting school supplies for the kids at the Overtown Youth Center as they go back to school, make sure they have backpacks and all the other things that they need.
Oh, that's tremendous. Now, I know we talked about doing something with suits for some senior people. I want to team up with your team because as we come out of the pandemic, people are going to need to dress for success, but they won't have the capacity to do so. So I'd really like to work with you and your team. I know I've got a closet full of stuff. And
yeah,
I know
we actually have a running collection on work clothing that we work with the Overtown Youth Center as well on. So they collect that from us and get that to people in the community who do need some clothing for the workplace or for job interviews. And that's a nice program that we've been running for some time and hopefully is very helpful to them and the community.
Well, I'm going to try to put something together where we get a drive going. I've been talking about it for a long time, but it really means a lot to me, especially since I need to clean out my closet. And I know a lot of other people do. I don't dress the same way I did 2.5 years ago, but people starting out will need to. Larry, let's talk a little bit about Lamborghini in particular. You've had some great success up there. I want to give Abe Cohn, a lot of high five. I love wearing my hat. Thank you so much for my hat. Oh man, people just die when I walk in with that hat. I go to the Lamborghini. I also want to give Floyd a high five. What a tremendous job he does on your events. And every time I see him, he makes me feel like I'm a member of the Warren Henry family. And he's just such a great guy. I love doing things with your whole team. The Lamborghini store, it's really cranked. You've accumulated a number of other luxury brands. What's the future of the luxury brand collection?
So right now, we do have some growth planned. I can't really discuss it at the moment, but we are under construction at the Lamborghini facility, building out our Bugatti portion of the showroom, which is very exciting. So we are creating an additional showroom space for Bugatti.
I miss that place, Larry. I miss the events at the place. I really do.
Yeah, we do as well. I know you are a regular at Supercar Saturday. The event outgrew the facility, and now we're at the shops at Pembroke Gardens on the second Saturday of every month from 9 until noon. So this coming Saturday, I hope to see you there. We do expect a big turnout. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of cloud cover, so it'll be a little bit cooler, but
It's so great though. And the fact that you have it there, I really want to plan to go a little early, get some Cuban food at the Cuban restaurant, and then go walk around. There's at least 5 different places to get coffee. The kids love it. I love seeing the kids run around. The other day, there was like a clown there that was like a car clown. He was great. So I really enjoyed that. But the one thing that I really enjoy most of all is coming together with you. Your sister's now out there, the team. It really just makes me feel good. And the toughest thing in today's world is finding circumstances where you can just feel good and surround yourself with people who care about you, who just want to have fun. And I got to tell you, when I go to those events, everybody's having fun. Everybody. It's a lot of colors. One of the things I found that you miss during COVID is you're in your house, whatever, there's not a lot of colors. This is a tremendous colors. By the way, I like that French blue. I told you the French soccer club blue is my color. Now, Larry, let's say that somebody wanted to get a supercar. Those things are rather expensive, but they are attainable in certain circumstances. How would you recommend somebody get into the supercar lifestyle, if you will?
It's I think number one, it's a matter of finding the right retailer who we're very focused on community-based events, building that car community. We call them lifestyle events that we like to put together, not only for our clients, but for, Supercar Saturday isn't only our clients, it's, 500 like-minded car owners who want to come and show off their vehicle of any type. And we really love that. There's all sorts of different options. There's, financing, leasing, cash purchases on those type of vehicles. Right now, truthfully, the biggest challenge is supply based. And that's really where you got to go ahead of time and find something that's either coming in that's available, which is more difficult, or the custom order something. But, unfortunately, it's a matter of having a little bit longer of a wait time than normal.
Well, it also seems to be that you need the right dealership that has the ability to execute or find the deal or cut a deal with another dealer and get it in there. I think that you also hit on what I think is the most important part of the supercar lifestyle, which is having something to do. Yep. See that was the guy calling me, telling me my supercar is back downstairs. It's the white Lamborghini with the red rims. That's me.
I got you.
I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. So Larry, I want to talk one more bit of time because we're coming out of the pandemic. People are looking for new places to work, new careers, and I wanted to point out something that we talk about a lot on the show with you, which is the fact that somebody can go join the Warren Henry family, have a career, get an incredible compensation package, and stay there for quite some time and build their family with you. Tell me a little bit about that.
Look, we take a lot of pride in our tenure. We love when people come and stay with us. We're not really looking for anybody to come for a cup of coffee. We want people to come and grow with us. We've experienced some tremendous growth over the last 10 years, and we'd like to see our team grow as well. Typically, we only promote from within unless there's an extraordinary circumstance. So it's always nice to have people come in and watch them grow as time goes along. I've been fortunate to have some great growth here, and just kind of watch as things have changed, all for the better. And we're very hyper focused on our workplace environment, on having a very positive place to work, on trying to be a little bit more flexible than what most people would think with a car dealership with reputation for crazy hours and things like that. That's not how we do things, and we don't necessarily see a correlation with extra hours worked in productivity. We think sometimes that just takes you backwards. So we like to be flexible, and we've got some great benefits to offer. I think we have more holidays off than probably any other car dealership that you'll find in Florida. So we really do what we can to be as focused as we can on our people and our growth.
The most important thing about where you work is who you surround yourself with and the environment. I've never met one person there that was unhappy. Everybody's tremendous, other than that guy Ismet Yagzi, of course, and that's my favorite guy of all. That's why Larry's cracking up. He's my go-to guy. So I want to wrap up, Larry. You've been a sponsor of the show for a long time, but really, that's not really what's the most meaningful thing to me and my family. The most meaningful thing to me and my family, Larry, is how you treat us like people. Just like people. Most big companies, they don't have that kind of perspective, but you do. Every person that walks through there is a person and an individual. And in times like this, there's nothing more important than giving people comfort, security, safety. You notice we didn't even talk about how clean the place is this time, and a feeling of home. Everybody just wants to go home. And that's the way I feel when I'm at Warren Henry and at Supercar Saturday. And I wanted to thank you for that. It's something that means the world to me.
Well, I certainly appreciate it, Jim. And, I thank you for your support. as always, and all the kind words and, the opportunity to be on the show today. I hope you'll send Vivian my love and your mother, and, only good things going forward for all of us. That's all we should have.
Correct. And Courtney, you're going to have the most beautiful son with Courtney. You're going to go to ball games. You're going to teach him all the life's lessons. He's going to give you unconditional love, and he's going to pull your finger a lot too. Have a great day, Larry. I love you so much. Thank you to everybody over there. It's impossible to say how much you mean to me, so I think I should just show it. God bless you, Larry, and your whole family.
Thank you. We'll talk soon.
You got it, man. All right, Reagan, enough mushy. The next half is all me, and boy, are we going to rock and roll it, okay? Take it away. We'll be right back with the second half of Freedom Business, and boy, is it going to be great. Everybody, I love that guy. I've watched him grow. He's such a tremendous person. His father should be so proud of him, and his mom too. It's almost redundant. If you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry. Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar. They're all great cars up at their store at 151st and Biscayne. In Gainesville, they sell Audis. They got the hottest cars there. Down in the Keys, they've got all the cars, the Jeeps, stuff like that. You can get anything from these guys. What do all their cars have in common? They all come with the Warren Henry Advantage. Oh, crap. They make you a part of their family. It feels so great when you go in there. I lost all my Warren Henry Advantage stuff. It's all a bunch of great things. That's how shook I... Oh, where did it go? It was right there. They give you a complimentary service loaner, dynamic wheel protection, key replacement, guaranteed purchase offer, best value guarantee, and my favorite, the 72-hour exchange. You can take 3 days to find out if you like your car. If you don't, you can return it. Nobody returns their car. Join me, my mom, my beautiful wife, Vivian. Lots of my friends go there. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. I'm getting a Lamborghini. You'll wait and see. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry. We play that PSA all the time, but it's really important, especially in today's world as well. We all emerge from the pandemic. We have to show each other kindness. Each person is at a completely different place, and you need to respect them where they are. Give me a call. Reach out to me, DM me, email me about real estate deals. I'm helping people do some really creative stuff. I've got money for workouts, dip financing, full capital stacks for multifamily, retail, industrial, you name it. I can help you get capitalized if your deal makes sense. So give me a call. I'll help you evaluate it. I'm helping lots of families deploy capital, and they've got a family from overseas that's helping me do a lot of my urban land deals. So call me. I can help solve your problem. If you need capital, I've got it. If you've got capital, I can help you deploy it. What else is there in real estate except doing it with somebody you like? Get to know me. I'm sure you'll like me and you'll trust my judgment. DM me, reach out to me, whatever way you like. Why? Because when you call me, I promise you it's always about you.
Welcome back to Freedom Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freedom Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
Hey, we're back. The second half of the show is going to be about what I'm seeing in the marketplace, why I say all those positive things during a little blurb and stuff like that. It's because the capital markets are absolutely rocking. People are looking to do deals in virtually every product type with sponsors, and sponsors that are not necessarily strong enough are venturing with credit enhancement vehicles to help them go all the way. I've got one client, I'll just tell you flat out, we looked at a property. It had probably approvals for 600 units. I took the capital there. They said, can we do this? And the guy said, well, maybe as a third phase. He says, let's do that too. Let's protect our back door. So there's all kinds of capital out there. Other things that I'm starting to see is that people are interested in helping our community. I met with somebody today who really wants to get involved in the Miami city government. It was really great to sit and talk with this gentleman. He is really looking forward to helping bring Miami-Dade County or the city of Miami into the future. Reagan, you want to come on?
Sure, I'll come on. Give me a second.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, so when are you going to be a dad? What's the story with that?
I am a dad. I'm a twice dad. My son actually started daycare yesterday.
Dad, I asked that. That was a loaded question.
Yeah.
That was a loaded question. So, one of the things I'm finding is a big problem here in the city of Miami is the ability for people to find housing. Just like all of the major urban metros, there's been a housing crunch. Now, the unfortunate circumstance in Surfside has driven another 200 or 300 families in the mid to upper price range into the marketplace. What a crass way to say that. God bless their souls. What a bunch of people. What a tremendous tragedy in the middle of the night to have that happen. I can't even imagine.
It was absolutely crazy. It's something that you would never wish upon your worst enemy. And now you probably heard about the other. There's a bunch of other buildings that are now re-evaluating how prepared they are for for flooding and for rising tides.
Yeah, well, it's not only that. It's the actual structural integrity. There was a great editorial in the paper today about a woman who bought a condo conversion on Miami Beach. She realized that all she bought was lipstick on a pig, right. And the thing had a physical problem. And when she talked to the handyman that ran the building, she said, I wanted to leave this to my grandchildren. He says there won't be a building by then. So, when you drive up and down these buildings, some of them actually had sand included in their concrete and they're falling apart. These were not built to last forever. These were built to sell and get out of here. Yeah. So there's a lot of pressure on these older condos and what's going to happen. And what you're going to see happening is the condo boards will come together. They'll sell to developers. They'll get out and somebody will redevelop the sites because all these older buildings are in great locations. The people will get paid to move. They'll be given time to move, hopefully, and then they'll be able to relocate in a calmer fashion because the reality is that the business model that those buildings were built on doesn't work long term.
No.
They're all going to have to be torn down and Did I just say that? Wow.
It's true.
Yes, it is.
It's true.
The model will change and the profile of the person that lives on Miami Beach and on the water will change forever because it's subsidized housing and the people that live there now just can't afford the actual price to live there. When they develop these things, they create a condo association. The developer makes up what the condo fees are going to be. Their goal is to keep it as low as possible because the lower condo fees, well, the higher the condo fees, the higher the barrier to entry to selling the condos.
Right.
So the condo fees never reflect what it should really be. Then the condo board comes in, they take over, they go and they do a structural inspection, they find all the defects and they try to charge the condo developer. The condo developer has an insurance policy that pays for it. By the time this dance is done, the building may be 7 to 10 years old already. Mm-hmm. It already needs changes. You tell me how many different changes there have been in the last 10 years that make a building better. Elevator wise, glass wise, circulation wise, cleaning the air wise. Now, how do you change a building and bring it up to code or bring it up to the modern stage if half the people can barely afford to live there as it is? And that's a condo. My mom's a condo board association president. They have a sinking fund. She's one of the smart ones. Mm-hmm. If something breaks there, they have money to fix it. If they don't have enough, they make a nominal special assessment. But what happens in these buildings is that the special assessments get so big that nobody can afford them, so they don't want to make them. They debate. The less liquid debate with the more liquid. The more liquid want a safe, clean place. The others just want a place they can afford. Mm-hmm. And that's the tension.
Yeah. That's right.
That's a condo right there. That's every condo. That was Fisher Island for crying out loud. Every condo has that kind of tension. And to think that there's what I call a value system alignment in there, there's not. To think that they have an alignment of interest, there's not. And the cheap free ride on the water, let me tell you, is way over. I'm experiencing it where I live now. They're clearing the whole place out. There's no way that their cost profile will allow anybody but the highest net worth people to live here going forward.
So
But
where,
that wasn't the profile of the people living here now, other than me,
yeah. So where, I mean, where are people that are looking for more affordable places? Where are they supposed to go? What are they supposed to do?
Well, first of all, they read between the lines.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they consider Broward, Palm Beach, and then the Carolinas,
Right.
Georgia. You really want to live large, go to Alabama or Mississippi, but go try to find a job.
Yeah.
So the reality is that they've been paying people in South Florida in sunshine for years. Well, that's coming back to haunt. They're going to have to pay people real wages so they can really afford to live here. That's a generational solution. That just doesn't happen. You need jobs to pay for that. You think that the hospitality industry can pay their person $20 an hour so that person can live closer to their job? Sure they can. And the room nights have to go up 30%. So the person stays in Vegas instead. And that's what you got going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you got going on. So the cost profile for everything in the world has gone up. Everything. It's not that much cheaper in Vegas. I mean, it is, but it isn't. The reality is that the cost profile, what people want, and the profile for what they can afford is different. Thank you, Madison Avenue. There was this article I read about the young Chinese elite and doing what they call lying flat. Did you read about this?
No.
Lying flat is they hustle till they're 23, 24 and get the totally choice thing. Then they get there and they go, well, to stay here, I have to work even harder. They work 6-6. What had they team it? 6-18 or something like that. They work 6 days a week. They work 18 hours a day. It was some crazy thing. I would never do that. That's why I'm American, I guess. But the point is that they opt out. Remember, they were funded by the Chinese government. So now they're saying, I don't want it anymore. They go to some province out wherever, and what they call lie flat. They relax and lay back. And this is a thing. And there's a whole industry about it and whole lifestyle clothes about it. And now they're all being stopped by the government because it's also counterproductive.
Well, of course it is.
So
Wow.
you use a part of that generation and you lose. You just lose. And they're noticing that. And I don't want to talk politics or geopolitics, but there's a little drill down on that you could talk about. Hey, listen, let's come back in a couple of seconds and we'll talk about how I really am able to stand up against the world's largest apartment community and the same everyday stress that we all have. We'll come back right after this. I'm going to tell you my secrets. And guess what? You can have them because they work. Reagan Mendoza for driving the show. It's South Florida's longest running business talk show. There's nobody even that comes close. I don't even have to check on Google for that. We've been on since 2008. Warren Henry's been a sponsor since 2012. You saw Larry on. When I met Larry, I don't think the guy could even shave. He's so tremendous. What an example. Go back and watch what I did with Larry Zinn. If you have a kid, that's what you want your kid to grow up as. He started out washing cars. His dad knew what to do. He washed cars on the lot. I met him when he was the F&I guy, the guy that tries to sell you the upgrades when you buy a car. Now he runs the whole place, and all he talks about is what a tremendous environment he wants to have. Am I supposed to be doing an ad for Warren Henry? I guess I just did. See, usually I read this, and then I read this. But today, this is because this is my original goodie, my good energy thing, the thing that I've been using it for 13, however long it's been. But I'm not going to do the ad. I'm going to talk about Larry. And what a wonderful person he is. He's about to have another kid. Going to take him to all the sports events, just like his dad took him. But Larry sets the bar at Warren Henry. All the people follow what Larry does at Warren Henry. And Larry is the consummate, loving, kind person. My wife and I, we have dynamic circumstances, but Larry is a rock for us. When my wife is upset about her car, when your wife is upset, you want her to be calm. She calls Larry. Larry takes the call and talks to her and works it out with her, makes her feel tremendous. What else do you really need to know about Warren Henry? Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry.
Carlson from Carlson Integrated. A lot of our clients find that they can do anything, but not really everything. We are always excited to jump in and help. So whether you need another set of hands for a project or even comprehensive marketing management, our team of marketing mavens would love to have a conversation with you to see if we are the right fit. We do everything from logo and design work to email outreach and social media to writing and thought leadership. And here's a fun one. We are now offering our fabulous ebook of top 10 marketing tips on our website for free. So head over to carlsonintegrated.com and grab a copy today. And please always let us know how we can help. My email is Becca, that's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com. That's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com.
She's tremendous too. I'll give you an inkling into the next segment. I surround myself with the top people that believe in me. She's one of them. She's so amazing and tremendous. What a bright, caring person. If you need some PR help, that's the person. I need some marketing help, that's the person. She helps me look good all the time. She works with Reagan with a couple of my clients and helps them build their image now. It's really a wonderful thing that they've learned to do together and with me. It's been great. Let them do it for you too. Call Reagan or call Becca. If you need some real estate help, DM me, reach out. I'm working on all kinds of stuff. I can get you all the way up to the top of the capital stack. 100% financing, that's doable today. I've got a family office that wants to go on top of all of my debt and equity from the institutions, and they'll take you all the way up to the top. Yeah, you need a couple of bucks from your friends and family, but that's doable in today's world. Retail, industrial, office, multifamily, I'm doing it all. Condo. You have the right condo site. I have guys that'll invest in the land with you. Paper lots, you don't even know what that is. So call me to find out. That's the front of a guy's farm that DR Horton wants to buy. I can finance that too. I'm doing it right now. So call me, DM me, reach out to me. Why? Because when you call me, it is always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
All right, we're back. We're back with my good buddy, Reagan Mendoza, who makes me look good all the time. Thanks for being on the show today, Reagan. We want to talk a little bit about how I make it through or making it through. A lot of us are still fighting with the pandemic. While we see the shows on TV and the people running around. Yesterday, I watched the baseball game. I saw two people that had a mask on. I'll be there tomorrow with my friend. You're darn tootin'. I'll be wearing a mask, though. But I'll be back in my seat. So, my God, I'm so excited. Clayton Kershaw and Sandy Alcantara. And I sit right at the right spot, right behind the umpire. Oh, God, I love my Marlin seats. And I'm taking my good friend, Jeff Feldman. So how do I stay and keep it together? That's it. I surround myself with people that love me and believe in me. And if somebody doesn't, I get rid of them so fast. So fast. I just don't need it anymore. I don't need the aggravation. And I know enough good people, and I build myself with them. And I introduce them to each other to create a network of good, kind people. That's the way we move forward. And that's the way Reagan and Becker are working with my friends. I mean, that's the way it works, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There's enough opportunity and there's enough work and there's enough clients out there that if things aren't working out, you don't have to do it. Plus, it's kind of win-win, because if it's not a good match and it's not a good match for you, it's not a good match for the other person either. And they should be working with someone else that matches their energy.
Correct. I just went through that with a couple of folks. One is rather slow paced. One is rather hard driving. I got them pretty close to doing something, and then there was the bump in the road, and the personalities didn't get along. I mismatched. That was my bad. Usually I can nail it the first time out. But in some cases, people evolve over time and it doesn't work for them. In some cases, the capital structure of the transaction changes, and so the needs change and the relationships in the deal change. And sometimes one person that was needed earlier isn't required anymore. You got to try to ease that person out. It's called buying a partner out. You know, it's right next to the chapter on buying the tenants out, which we won't go there to that chapter today. So the real thing that's important to me is also keeping my wife calm and building my life around her, because she's an amazingly kind and loving person, and she needs my support right now. So I give it to her. I listen to her. I work hard to do what she needs to have done. And I work hard to tell her how much I believe in her and how much I respect her for what she's working to accomplish. And she does the same for me. It's a very, very important thing. I really can't imagine people that are married to somebody who doesn't treat them well and doesn't say nice things about them. Because if you can't get that in your house, I don't know where you can go.
Yeah, your home should be a safe place for that sort of thing, you know?
Home and safe place, let's change the topic. But for that particular thing, yes, the home should be a safe place for emotions between each person. And you should be able to speak to the other person in an active way. So what you're telling me is such and such. And then they can respond, yes, that's what I meant, or no, that's not what I meant. And then there's a lot of miscommunications avoided. And I've said many, many times, the number one person in your life, the number one important person is your spouse. Bumps will come. You will need to rely on the person. The person will evolve. If they're flexible, they'll evolve with you. If they're not flexible, they won't evolve, and there will probably be issues. So I'm so proud of the person that I'm married to. She fights every single day. I don't see one thing about her that goes against my personal moral code. We have, I think, really, I'm going to this hat thing I do, perfect value system alignment. You know, the hat thing means I'm making a point. Not that I want to show everybody I'm losing, you know. And actually, I haven't lost any hair. My hair's been like this since I've been like 25. It's just that now I'm pulling it back a little more. I used to go like that. Then you could do the Donald Trump, but, you know, that's not my style.
Yeah.
But I do want to say that, like I said, the important people, there's the ones you surround yourself with. I'll give a great example is my niece. My niece is, I'm not talking politics. I'm just going to talk about how much I love her. Okay. When there's a bump in the road, my niece reaches out to me and we talk about it. And I tell her it's going to be okay, and that I love her unconditionally, and that she's a tremendous person for giving of herself into our community. It's not whether you like somebody's politics or not. What you have to do is you have to respect the fact that they at least wanted to get involved and make a change. I met with somebody from Miami that wants to run for city commission earlier today. And I was very impressed with the gentleman wanting to take on the troubles for other people. He's not married. He doesn't know what he's getting into. But I told him that I'd introduce him to some of the people I know in town. Those people need to make their own decision. I'm not making any decision. I'm not a kingmaker. I'm just an information purveyor. So I'll introduce him to some people around town. Let's see if they like him. I'm actually going to write myself a note, because I'm going to call his boss. Because I can do business with him.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, the main thing is that I can do business with anybody in real estate. It's just a matter of calling them and being kind and listening to what they're working on and showing them how we could do things together. And, I'll give you another example. I was high five to my friend Victor Lopez at International Finance Bank. I'm about to close and another deal with Victor. It'll be my second or third. I lose count. I just know I love the kid. So he sends me his email, and suddenly it's got a QR code on the bottom. Oh, yeah, I called Becca. I'm getting my QR code today. Oh, yeah. That was so tremendous. You know, you put them on your phone. And then when you meet somebody, they just scan your phone and you're in, and boom.
Awesome.
No more Wally Green typing in the business cards.
So easy.
Oh, my gosh. But that's a change.
Yeah.
In just the last few months. It was out there. Nobody ever did it, though. And so, you know, and that's a great way that Becca's going to help me. She's also going to help me write some thumbnails for Andreas's machine. And we're going to start doing some additional upgrading and marketing on the machine. She's helping me update the website right now. And so, you know, it's great. I surround myself with her, you know, and then there's you. Okay. We met at the old radio station.
Right.
Then I was going to try to do radio at another station, which, boy, was that bad. And then the pandemic hit. And you said, hey, how about doing this on Zoom? I said, huh?
Yeah.
We've expanded our reach dramatically. I've gotten a number of clients from this from all over the world and locally, from as far away as New Zealand and as close as Hollandale. I've gotten clients off of this, and probably more that just didn't tell me.
And we didn't miss a week. We haven't missed one show. No setbacks.
That's correct.
Yeah.
No matter what, even if I'm just getting done when the music's playing, we have not missed a show. People don't know how hard that is.
Right. That's right.
They don't know how hard it is to be present at the same time every single week, and then to deliver. To deliver isn't easy. And, you know, but I was wanting to get back to the fact that you're helping me create the show, stay between the lines. Sometimes I'll pick a topic that gets me over excited. You'll help me understand that. And it's really a partnership. And I want to thank you for that. And I really hope I'm filling my part of the partnership as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. You're great. You're great to work with. It's been a pleasure. We really have grown a lot and learned a lot, especially in the past year and a half with the pandemic. And it's been a joy.
Well, listen, thank you so much for being part of the team. I want to go through the close of the show. I want to, first of all, thank you and Becca. Okay. Thank you and Becca. I want to thank your wife. Without your wife, there wouldn't be you. I just talked about that.
100%.
I want to thank Larry Zinn and all of our friends at Warren Henry. What a big hug goes out to them. What beautiful people for our community. I want to thank Deep Blocks. We'll have Olivia back. What a great show she did with us. Creco AI. I want to thank Andreas for his support. Carlson Integrated, the Turkel Brands, the Bergstrom Center for Real Estate Studies. Of course, our listeners and viewers. Go to our Facebook page, LinkedIn, all that stuff. I was a little slow today. I apologize. I had a lot of stuff going on this morning. Text me, email me, DM me, tell me who you want to hear from, what you want to hear. It's great. We'll have Casey Conway back soon. LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. If you missed today's show, Reagan will have it up before the end of the day in the edited format. Look for us next week on Wednesday. Why? Because I just love doing this, and we are going to have a special show next week. We're going to be live with a remote from the Lighthouse for the Blind. I went there last year to this event, and it is the most touching thing. And we will interview them if we can coordinate with Cameron Sisser, who's a good friend. We're going to try to bring them on and show some of the good things that are being done in our community there. That will be next week. And remember, this is my favorite part. The person who wants to do something finds a way. The other finds an excuse. Now go out there and make it happen. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. Reagan, it's yours.